Hi, greetings in Jesus' name. Pointers along the way are brief, Bible based messages I bring out, God willing, every Saturday, dealing with practical aspects of the Christian life. I hope they will be a blessing to you. You can visit my website at www.c-n-c.org for my articles and books. This is pointer number 893, and it's called Claiming to be Wise. Claiming to be wise, they became fools. Romans chapter 1, verse 22. They exchanged the truth of God for falsehood. Verse 25. This is a problem some Christians have when they read the Bible. The context here was about people going away from God to idols, but we can apply it to another context also. God, in His love for us, has given us the Bible for revealing what kind of a person He is, how He created us, what went wrong with us, and what we need to do to get back to Him. He managed to use a variety of authors to convey what He wanted us to learn about getting into a relationship with Him and living the kind of life that represents His character. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 3. His divine power has granted to us everything pertaining to life and godliness through the true knowledge of Him who called us by His own glory and excellence. We may wish sometimes that He had told us many things in more detail and more plainly, but what we can see is that to understand God's ways, we have to seek it like people look for hidden treasures. Proverbs chapter 2, verses 3 to 5. For if you cry out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. We also have to have a heart that is willing to obey God after He shows us the truth. John chapter 7, verse 17. If anyone is willing to do His will, he will know about the teaching, whether it is of God or I am speaking from myself. Then we will begin to have our spiritual eyes opened and see things from God's point of view. That is to be spiritually minded. But isn't it possible to study the Bible as if it is merely a human writing, just as we study books in our schools and colleges? We may think that if we learn the Hebrew and Greek languages in which the original Bible was written, we will then be able to get to the real meaning of the text. Of course, that knowledge is very helpful as far as understanding what the authors had in their mind. But spiritual insight will come only when our heart seeks after God. Psalm 42, verse 1. As the deer pants for the water brooks, so my soul pants for you, God. When we come to the Bible and find there things that are not unambiguously clear, one temptation is to speculate about what is not given there. The cleverer and the more knowledgeable we are, we may imagine that our ideas must be right. Then we may go on to publish such ideas, and the greater the reputation we have, or the more marketing we do, we may convince a lot of people to accept our new ideas. But the question is whether these ideas are true or merely speculations. 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 4. Nor to pay attention to myths and endless genealogies which give rise to useless speculation rather than advance the plan of God, which is by faith. So I urge you now. Even new churches have been started based on some unique ideas that none of the others knew. Can't we accept the idea that whatever God thought we needed to know, He has revealed, and what He has kept hidden are really not necessary for us to know at this time? Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our sons forever, so that we may follow all the words of this law. Why then do we go on to speculate about what God has chosen to hide? To show off our cleverness? As we saw in the beginning, that is a path that will lead us away from God and perhaps even to destruction. A preacher called Thomas Campbell, 1809, said, "Where the scriptures speak, we speak, and where the scriptures are silent, we are silent," as a general guideline for avoiding controversial opinions of men. This is not God's law, which is to be followed literally, but a helpful concept to think about. One part of humility is to abide within the boundaries God has laid out for us in His wisdom. Why don't we major on what God has revealed clearly? May the Lord bless you in your life as you have listened to these words. Thank you.